These loofah gourds you can use as sponges in the kitchen, and you can use them in the shower. You can just, use them for all sorts of stuff, but this way you can put your money towards, farmers and stuff that's grown naturally versus who really knows what your sponge is made out of, honestly. Probably petroleum or plastic or whatever. So as you can see, those large cucumber looking things are the Luffa Gourds. And they'll turn yellow when they're done, but otherwise the frost will come along and kill them. So we started them indoors ahead of frost date and set them out. They're doing pretty good. I did find a couple that were yellow already. There's seed cavities, and you gotta bang the seeds out of there or whatever. Then you got a perfectly good sponge or loofah for scrub-a-dub-dubbing in that tub. And you can tell this thing's big. You can use it as a phone. You can use it as a prop. Just don't leave kids alone with it, because they might, use it for pretty much anything. You could turn this into a house, into a houseboat and sail away, and you don't want your kids to sail away, especially if you're close to water. So cut it into chunks, and then they'll be fine. Or use the whole thing. Like I said, you can wail on people, have sword fights with it. They are multifunctional, but like I said, they start to turn yellow when they're ripe. So this one is pretty close. The skin's starting to separate a little bit, but it's not fully there. Yeah, this one's really ripe. This one's turning. Okay, so this is a perfect example. This one is all the way ripe, right? And it's actually started to dry right on the plant, on the vine or whatever. So the outer shell, you can hear it's kind of crispy, right? Well, the inside still needs to dry a bit. This is the idea. You could go out and grab them when they're like this and take the husk off, and this is gonna be easy to dry. This one's already actually a little bit dry on the inside. But anyways, this is just a really cool crop, and since I make soap, I've been trying to make a surplus of these, but they take so long to grow. You can tell that only a few are done, where otherwise these other ones can be processed as well, but they're just everywhere. They sprawled out across the yard, or across the garden or whatever, and they're just covering this fence. And this one, you could really get to wailing on somebody with that, especially in the green stage that it's in right now. And here I've got a wheelbarrow full of Luffa Gourds. So here you see it in the green stage, and kind of at an in-between stage, and then these are starting to dry out. This one's kind of crunchy, and it readily opened right up, but kind of goofy. You wouldn't expect for this to be inside of what looks like a squash, honestly, or whatever, a gourd. So anyhow, I'm gonna tear these open, and you got to get the seeds out of the inside and dry them out. You can slide your thumb in between the fibrous inside and the skin and kind of pop it and slide and make a seam all the way down it, but as you can tell, that's pretty tough, and it's quite exfoliating on the thumb. So out of frustration, I threw one down in the concrete, and it really loosened the skin up quite nice. Now it comes right off quite easily and readily. And yeah, I might have got a little dirt on it there, but a little dirt don't hurt, at least for my purposes. And I can always fine tune it and lay a tarp down, nice clean tarp. But it's just some heads up for processing. I'd say it's a lot faster and easier than running my thumb down the thing and then still fighting to get them off of there. That's just a beautiful homegrown sponge right there. That'll make quick work of processing your loofahs in a time of year where you're already real busy picking winter squash, putting the garden away for winter. Anything else you might have forgotten to do coming into winter? I mean, it's a busy time. We got winter squash, dent corn, dry beans, peanuts, sweet potatoes, the nuts, the wild stuff that we're trying to cash in on. I mean, there's hops, there's ground nuts, there's all sorts of stuff that's coming ripe right now. The apples. So, nice little trick there to help you make quick work if you are growing some loofahs. And otherwise, if you want some loofahs, keep an eye on me. I'm gonna try to get my soap for sale online, and we'll offer some loofahs along with it. And that's just another example of knowing what's going on your skin, you know. This is no chemicals, no nothing, just sunlight, soil, and rainwater. Hot dog, this is a juicy one. Juice the loofah. And another good thing about these, they're really prolific, and you can cut them when they're really small and eat them like summer squash. If you're into that type of thing, they do have an edible phase. So now that we've got our frost, it's time to harvest these loofahs. I was able to pull some off early because they were actually all the way done. But seeing how they're a 120-day crop or so, we need every bit of the season that we can get. And then the frost kind of ends it for us, so I'm gonna pick the rest of them and get to processing them. Now I got these loofahs up here, I'm ready to beat these skins off of them. And once the skins have been removed, I will have to actually wring this out and get all this juice out of it. It's laborious. And then out come the seeds. There you have it. Good clean sponge. But it ain't gonna come without some work. So after you've squeezed them for a while and you've gotten most of the seeds out, you're gonna wanna get them soaking in another bucket or whatever. Just get them soaking in some water. And I've already shook a lot of the seeds out like this. And I didn't wanna do that in front of the camera because I don't have a waterproof camera or anything like that. But as you can see, the seeds are everywhere. And you know, I was just kind of swinging them like that and swinging them like this, but essentially I'm doubling them over and wringing them out and getting the suds out of them. And then once they wring out clean, I'll give them one final rinse in a clean bucket, and then I hang them up to dry. Right now I'm just putting them on this shed roof. So here are some that are dry. I did these, I don't know, maybe a week back before the frost. And they're looking crunchy and good and everything. I'm gonna have to bring these in. And there still are a few seeds in there. This would be a chance to get them out. And here are the green ones that I have yet to dry out. And I just wrung these out. So they're still all spongy, but they're on their way. And not all these loofahs come out perfect, so that's totally fine. We'll just use the ones that are messed up, like that might be from bug damage or just a deformity, I'm not really sure. So we'll use those ones here at the farm, and then I'll be able to use a bunch of these for my soap and sell those as well. So now that I know some of the tricks behind processing them, I might grow a few more next year. But I still have a whole nother wheelbarrow to process, so Better work my way through that thing for now.